Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Interviewing the Legends. I'm your host, Ray Shasho. The Kings, originally formed in Vancouver, British Columbia, and Oakville, Ontario, are a Canadian rock band formed in 1977. They gained prominence with their 1980 hit, The Beat Goes On, Switchin To Glide, which resonated in both the United States and Canada. The original lineup was David Diamond, lead vocals, bass, songwriter, Sonny Keyes, vocals, keyboards, songwriter, Max Styles, and Mr. Zero, guitar and songwriter. The Kings toured extensively with artists like Bob Seger, Jeff Beck, the Beach Boys, and Eric Clapton. They appeared on Dick Clark's American Bandstand and headlined the major Heatwave festival in August. Despite challenges in the late 1980s, the Kings experienced a revival when This Beat Goes On and Switchin To Glide became radio hits in Chicago once again and received substantial play. The band continued touring throughout Canada and the US during the remainder of the decade. The Kings' most recent album is entitled The Longest Story Ever Told, and now in 2024, the Kings, with their history of hits, over 2,000 North American shows, and a devoted fan base, remain hungry with something to prove. The Longest Story Ever Told reaffirms their status as a rock band with songwriting depth. When asked, is there a theme for the album, guitarist Mr. Zero replied, I don't think there is one other than trying to get 10 really good songs together. Please welcome Mr. Zero, Dave Diamond, and Sonny Keyes of Canadian rock legends, The Kings, to interview the legends. Hello, guys. Oh, man. What was it like getting together after all this time? Because I guess the last album was Because of You back in 2003, and then all of a sudden, boom, you got a new album.
Well, I think COVID had a lot to do with it.
Really?
Because we were sitting around doing, twiddling our thumbs basically, and it was time to put some music that we had sitting on the shelf ready to work on, to put it to work, so to speak.
So you guys already had a lot of music in your catalog that you brought out, basically, huh?
And we it's not like we stopped playing in 2003 or any time before that. We've been playing all the way through. And it just takes a lot of effort and money to put together and record a whole album. And so time went by, and it was finally seemed like the right time to do it. And then COVID hit. We'd started just before it. And then it kind of put a damper on it. There's actually a couple of songs on there, like When Dreams Come True, which was mixed by Terry Brown, who produced Rush for all those years. Mm-hmm. He did a mix for us on that song, and we never met him. We just sent him the tracks. We were never at his studio. We were never even, we talked to him on the phone and the computer and everything, but we did all the notes on the computer, but we never actually met him. So that's one of the results of the COVID thing, was remote doing everything, and which was new for us because we're usually pretty hands-on and like to be in there with the guys that are doing it.
And that was the same for me. I was on the West Coast for all that time, trapped in my house. So I was supplying my parts from British Columbia using the internet.
Huh.
Yeah. Of course, COVID was a bad thing, but it was also a good thing for musicians, because it made them think. And a lot of great lyrics came out of COVID, you know, a lot of reflecting, a lot of ideas came out of that, because, you got to sit still and actually brainstorm, which was a great thing.
Well, we had a bunch of music that we had, we had demoed years before that, had really good parts and really lousy parts.
Right.
And it was a matter of bringing them off the shelf and seeing what's good and what's bad. And so a few of the songs on this new album, The Longest Story Ever Told, are older songs that were revamped during the COVID time. like you say, it gave us all a chance to mull over things and see what needed fixing, and so we did, and we came up with a great bunch of tunes, really good. Some are brand new songs, and some are older songs.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's a great album. I enjoyed it. And I'm going to go over a few of the tracks. First of all, Always Off the Deep End. I mean, I relate to that because I'm 10 minutes from the beach.
Oh, there you go.
And you got to see the video because there's a lot of hot looking girls in that video.
Yeah, we got a lot of grief for that.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good kind of a top 40 track. Very poppy, you know. You're gonna love this. I was a top 40 DJ back in 1979, 19. When you guys were first coming out, I was on the air. I was a top 40 guy. Yeah.
In DC there in DC, or where you? Where were
in
you?
Annapolis, Annapolis, Maryland. Yeah. And yeah, I mean, so I knew the set list that I had, you know, the all the hits back then, you know, Donna Summer was big, New Wave, of course, the Cars, and it was a nice mixture of music back in 79 and 80. It really was.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Yeah. Some big acts. But Always Off the Deep End, you guys start that out. Great song. Like I said, could have been a top 40 tune.
Well, that's what we thought. We thought that's why we opened up the album with it. It's like it's like a happy, good time, summertime fun, because the album came out just at this new album came out sort of during the summertime. That's why we released the single, and Always Off the Deep End, with all the girls swimming and such, and the big fat ugly guys, you know, thinking that they can get these hot chicks or what I know.
Where'd all these girls come from, by the way? Are they your groupies?
Well, our girlfriend. Oh yeah. Yeah. They run around here all the time.
All the time, right? Yeah, I know you rock stars.
That's not stock footage. That's all just people that we know.
People that you know. Yeah.
Sure.
But yeah, no, it was worked out great. People love the video, and the little dog, the dog continues through. The swimming dog is a big happy thing, because our album cover has a dog as well. The new album cover, which is a part of the longest story. We played a big farm party once, and Zero saw this farm dog with his head stuck in the cat door, not stuck, but put in there as there's the food, you know. And we were going, what to use for the album cover picture? We go, well, why not, you know?
Yeah, I think it's great.
We always say it's got to be something. So if you don't have a better idea, then this is something.
That's right. I agree. Nowhere to Go But Gone, another fun track. That's the next track on the album.
That's actually mixed in by Garth Richardson in British Columbia, not far from where Sonny lives.
Really?
Yeah, Garth lives on the Sunshine Coast.
Oh, interesting. The longest story ever told, is that basically about the band, pretty much, or?
It's sort of me talking to myself, I guess.
Okay.
It's just a bunch of young guys. We signed a record contract, and everything is all going great. And then it sort of levels off, and then now times have changed, and we write some new songs, and we play them, and they power through, and that keeps the story alive and new. That's about it. So that's what this album's about.
I like the piano on that track, by the way.
Yeah, good stuff.
Real good stuff.
That's Pete. He did a great job.
You guys are good musicians, you know. You always have been, you know. Very tight band.
We're kind of parts oriented, you know. Even if the part is simple, if it fits in, then it's a good part. And if it's creative, that's even better.
Mm-hmm.
And that track with the piano on that, I mean, that we had Peter, our other great keyboard player besides Sonny. He did 4 passes or something, and then we edited to over 3 or 4 hours to just make a track that had parts in it. He was just kind of letting it go, but there was bits in there that you could construct into something that was memorable and repeatable, which is what parts really are.
You guys consider yourself a garage band? in a way, maybe.
Well, we're more of a basement band.
Yeah, we
basement,
spent a lot of time in the basement.
Because in Florida, they don't have many basements.
We don't have any basements.
That's or California, but where we grew up, there was basements instead of garages because it's so cold in the garage.
Yeah, in Canada, yeah.
We were always down in the basement and numerous basements, and we're still in the
That's
basement.
amazing. And you guys started out in high school, right?
Yeah, well, we Dave and I and our original drummer went to the same high school. I met Sonny out in British Columbia,
Right.
and we started working on some songs together. And then I said I know a couple guys back in Ontario that might make a good band if we could get them to come on board. And we all got together, and it worked out. And we stuck together, and people say why, and it's like, well, we never really met anybody we'd rather play with than the guys we started out with. We've had offers, but none of them are as good musicians or writers or anything else. So why would we move on?
I got to tell you, man, it wasn't fair what they did to you in Denver at the Jeff Beck concert. What is wrong with them?
I always say that if I was in the audience, then I probably would have been out there throwing stuff at the stage too, because they really did not set it up properly. The lights went down. Everybody assumed that Jeff Beck was going to come out next. And then this promoter came out and said, I'd like you to give a very warm welcome to the Kings.
Oh my God.
And everybody went, boo, like I would have too, They didn't know who we were.
Instantly too. It was like we didn't even play a single note. It was already boo.
Unbelievable. What year was that?
Played in 1980.
Yeah.
I saw Jeff Beck in 1980.
Yeah, what tour was that? You
Blow by Blow or one of those, the big album with
When I saw him, he didn't have anybody opening up for him. It was in DC at Constitution Hall. But
I don't know how we got on that bill, because there wasn't supposed to be anybody. It wasn't promoted that there was an opening band at all. So we walked out on stage with our new wave clothing on, and in front of a bunch of young
that's the thing.
Rock guys.
we came out of the bars where we were trying to make a splash, and so we all dressed up funny and did crazy antics and all this kind of stuff. And then you walk out in front of 15,000 guys, which is what a Jeff Beck concert is, and they're all in jeans and t-shirts, and boy, they didn't like that too much. And then we played a couple more shows with them in Texas, and we put on our jeans and t-shirts, and it was fine. So
unbelievable. Yeah, but you guys were so energetic. It's not like you were a dull band. I interviewed Jonathan Taylor, and he played with Jethro Tull. He opened up for Jethro Tull, and he really got hammered because that was kind of a weird mix, as well. But I can see that because he's out there by himself playing acoustic, and then you bring in Tull,
Yes.
But you guys are different, you were very energetic, and I don't see why they booed you. I didn't get that.
It was just the clothing, I think.
It was the clothing.
They're not expecting us at all. They like Sonny said that. The lights go down, everybody's ready for Jeff. Jeff, and we come walking out there and say, boo. But we stood our ground. We played a half an hour.
Yeah.
We were talking everything from toilet paper rolls to drinks to shoe money.
I only had to stop once when there was a full cup of pop that exploded on my microphone stand and splashed the whole of me. So I had to stop for a couple of seconds, but other than that, we kept playing.
I've been to hundreds of concerts. I never saw anybody get booed. The only person that got booed was a DJ called Barry Richards that introduced the concert, and he was introducing Mountain, and they pelted him with glass bottles and all kinds of stuff. And then, of course, Mountain comes out, really loud. That was it. Never saw
that we did fine. It was all good after that. So we just learned our lesson, I guess, as far as who you're playing with.
Live and learn. Yeah. Well, you guys are great band, man.
Thank you.
When Dreams Come True, that's very interesting. Very I don't know. Some people kind of mentioned the Kinks on that song for some reason. It would kind of reminded them of a Kinks tune.
Ah, wow. Well,
Yeah.
we heard from a lot of people that say it's a great wedding song. First
Yeah.
dance, it's the new wedding song, you know. And
Hmm.
we go, yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah. I think some of my favorite songs on the album, I like I Know So. Very upbeat, kind of a dance track, you know. That's one of my favorite tunes.
Have you seen the
Um,
video for it?
did I see the video? I think I did see the video for it.
All
Yeah.
dancing.
Yeah.
No,
All
dancing, that's the
dancing.
way I
It
like it.
was
Great.
very, yeah.
It's yeah, Mr. Zero spent a long time culling the correct footage for it.
Uh, it's uh, it's a process doing all this video
Oh, man.
stuff. But
Where'd you get to Mr. Zero moniker? It's almost like a villainous name, you know, from Batman or something, you know.
I think it's just my negative attitude
Your
towards life.
negative attitude. I like that.
No, it's stuck. It's a good one. It's you know, when we were sort of getting our stage names together,
Mhm.
We were playing in the bars, and then this band U2 came out, and they had all these dumb names. So we thought, well, we should get some dumb names
Yeah.
too. So instead of Bono Vox, we have David Diamond, and we have Zero and Sonny Keyes and Max Styles. It was just a kind of a joke, but it's
a good one.
It's a good one.
It is a good one. Yeah.
My wife calls me Sonny now, you know.
Really? Circle of Friends, Man That I Am. I think that might be my favorite song on the album.
Well, that was the first one we started working on for the album, and we hooked up with Bob Ezrin for that. He picked that one.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, we approached him after we'd seen him over the years here and there, and there was kind of some friction for a while, but that kind of blew over. And then that song started out being about 8-9 minutes long or something, and we cut it down, and then it was still too long, and so we finally chopped it even more in the studio with, you know, because you can do that with Pro Tools and just get an edit to where it makes sense. And then we fixed it up because it was an old demo that we worked on, overdubbed all new parts and all this other stuff, and redid the drums and everything else. And then we thought, well, like we can produce ourselves and write songs and do all that and get it to the point where it's worth mixing properly, but we're not expert mixers. And so if you want to make it sound like a real record, you got to hire somebody who makes real records to mix it. And so that's what the goal was on this record. We were 7 different people mixing on it. And the first guy we approached approached Bob Clearmountain, and he sent us a deal memo for that song. And then we thought maybe try Bob Rock, the 3 Bobs, Bob Rock, Bob Clearmountain, and Bob Ezrin. And Bob Rock was busy, and so we approached Bob Ezrin, and he wrote back 10 minutes later and said, let's do it. So we thought, well, we've got a history with Bob Ezrin, and you know, there's a story to tell. And Bob did such a great job on it that was the template for all our other mixes that we had done. We'd send these guys, you know, we want it to sound as good as this, and that was the goal, because Bob he's good at it, you know.
Yeah,
it's a great song. It reminds me when I was a DJ back in the late 70s, you know, back in the days of the Knack, you know, that kind of thing. It has that kind of spirit to the song. I love it.
It's a rocker.
Yeah, it's a rocker.
That's a segue as well. I think, you know, I think at the point that when we were writing it, we thought we need another. This beat goes on Switchin To Glide, which we can never you know, I mean, that's a one of a kind thing that, you know, there can never be as good a segue as that song. But we thought we would give it a try, and so it is actually 2 songs, you know, Circle of Friends and Man That I Am. And Bob thought it was great too, so okay, let's do it. And
good
that
song.
was how that happened.
Really good song.
So we went to a studio in Nashville for the final mix. Dave and I went down there, and that was an experience again to be back in the studio with Bob, because he runs a tight ship.
Does he?
Yeah, and if his engineer, like, you know, he's got a guy doing Bob can do it, but he had this guy setting up the mix that morning, and he kind of left something out, and oh boy, there it was again, you know.
And we go in and Bob says, "Okay, this is what I got so far." And he's sitting there listening. He goes, "There's something missing." Something.
I remember I came in, I go, because I was thinking the drums were too loud, and I said, "Well, that's cool that you brought the drums down." He's going, "I didn't bring the fucking drums down."
He turned around to his engineer and said, "This is unacceptable, man." And then we had to leave and let the guy get freak out while he tried to fix it. Anyway.
That's Bob Ezrin, man. He's
He's
what
great.
resume he's got, huh?
He's a world class guy for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Incredible. He didn't come out and say you needed more cowbell, did he?
How'd you like our spaghetti western song? A rose for your stone.
You know what? I was just going to say that, you know, it is an old western tune, isn't it? Talk about that one. What was the idea behind that track?
Well, I was watching The Good, the Bad, the Ugly for about the 100th time because it's such a great movie. And I remember thinking, I haven't heard a good like spaghetti western song for a while. You know, Tarantino uses some of his stuff in his soundtracks and that. But so I started working on just the chord, those kind of style of chord changes, and came up with the melody and the lick and that. And I said to Sarah, "I got this spaghetti western song. We should do like a story song, like El Paso or something like that, you know." So we started working on it, and we ended up with we had pages of like Bristol boards of lyrics, you know. It was so long. It was ridiculous.
We took it to our engineer, Chris Snow, and it was 7 minutes long. And he just said, "You got to cut it in half." We're going, "Oh, no, this is great." And
we're thinking we can make a movie. No, I mean kidding, like. So we snipped it all down and got it down to the length that it is. And we got a hold of Sonny here and said, "Sonny, we need some horn parts. We need some mariachi type of style."
Yeah,
stuff.
love it.
So Sonny wrote the horn chart, and then he
got a real horn player to play it.
Well, yeah, it sounded too synthesized, so it looked online to this site called Fiverr, Fiverr. It's a worldwide, you know, place where you can hire people to do anything, make videos or, you know, cut your grass for all I know. But the put in mariachi horns, and this guy in Spain, he said, "I can do it." So we sent him the thing, and he transcribed it from Sonny playing it, and then he added another part and sent it back. And then Chris, our engineer, he corrected it with pitch correction, but it sounded
sort of big again.
It sounded too perfect again. So we had him bring that down so it sounded like a real person playing it. And then it was mixed in LA by this guy, Michael V. Bloom. And so the parts came out of Victoria, British Columbia.
The song was written in Ontario,
played by a guy in Spain, and mixed in LA. So
holy cow.
This is the good thing about the internet is this kind of stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it's bad, but there's certainly a lot of good stuff in it.
Well, now we need a Western so he can, you know, be soundtrack, right? For the Western.
Yeah.
That'd be nice. I grew up when a kid listening to those. They used to have these Western albums, like greatest hits, you know, from the theme songs, from all the Westerns and things. They were great. They were incredible.
High Noon and all that. I remember listening to High Noon, trying to get the beat from that, you know, the movie, the song on High Noon.
You're right.
And that was going. So it got to be like the horse, you know, the horse.
Right.
Everything.
I know Marty Robbins' daughter. I'm good friends with her, Janet Robbins. Yeah.
Interesting.
So he goes way back.
Well, El Paso is a thing, isn't it?
Yeah, El Paso. Yeah. It's funny because she doesn't really like country music at all. She's a rocker.
That's funny. I love country music. That's what I listen to.
It's a big Stetson hat on there. He just took it off for the interview.
Oh, did he? He usually wears a Stetson hat, huh?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Got his spurs on.
We wear crowns and that usually.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Sonny goes line dancing all the time.
Really? Yeah, I heard about those Canadian cowboys. She Don't Fool Around. That's a really neat song. It's short. It's kind of a punkish pop tune in a way, right?
Yeah,
for
I
sure.
can hear the Ramones doing that tune.
It's like a steamroller coming down, down the
Yeah,
pipe.
that's a fun track.
But we're playing this weekend in the big casino in Ontario here.
I saw that. Casio Rama Resort, right?
Casino Rama, yeah. It's
With Glass Tiger.
Yeah.
Very cool.
That should be a lot of fun. And
Yeah.
we're starting the set with that song.
Yeah, we're gonna open up with that song. Yeah, so that's to be
Over the bank.
Are you guys going to do more gigs or what?
We're working on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
We got some things in the works, and we're going to start promoting Nowhere to Go But Gone as a single to some radio in the States. So
yeah,
good.
We're excited about that too.
We did a bunch of shows last fall.
Mm-hmm.
We hadn't really played very much in the last little while, but the songs are going over great. Like we were promoting the new album, Nowhere to Go But Gone. Of course, we do play some of the songs from the first album. We have to. We play Partyitis and
Let Me Know.
Don't Let Me Know, and it's okay, which we do. Not one bit, not two shits. It's okay.
Yeah.
Some of the other fun songs, A Rose for Your Thorn, No So, Always Off the Deep End, When Dreams Come True.
Yeah, and Clean
Great
Shot.
Tunes. Great
That's
tunes.
good stuff.
We're pretty proud of this album. We worked really hard on it, and we put together a good team with the people involved, with Chris Snow, our engineer, and Harry Hess, who he mixed 2 or 3 of them and mastered it for us. We wanted it to get a consistent overall sound, and he really worked his magic on that. So that even despite the fact that there's 7 different people mixing the songs, it's not like a consistent overall sonic landscape, So that's something that we're really going for, and I think the sequence of the album is good. It ends with 3 really hard rockers. So, but I mean, there's the big ballad on the first side and A Rose for Your Stone on side 2, I think, and then it ends with Triangle Blues and Clean Shot and She Don't Fool Around, which is may not, they're harder, I think, rockers than some people, but there they are. It's a great way to close it out.
I think I'll give it 5 stars.
Hey,
5 stars.
Yeah, it's a fun album. It really is.
Thank you, Ray.
That's 5 out of 5, right? It's 5 out of 5.
5 out of 5, yeah. Like you said, the sound is very clear. That's very important nowadays. They have a good engineering, well-produced album. We
have a vinyl. It's a CD and vinyl available on the Kings Are Here website or anywhere else. Look for the Kings Are Here.
Good.
But it was funny going from digitization to analog. It was a different world. Instead of vinyl to CD, or we had to go the other way. And so the first version that we had, the test pressing, sounded crappy. It was it was awful. Yeah. So we had to get a couple of test pressings done before we liked the sound of it.
Yeah. I went to dinner last night at Cracker Barrel. Do you guys have Cracker Barrel in Canada? No.
You know what it is, though.
My sister and brother love Cracker
Barrel. They sell vinyl. They got a little section there for vinyl. Half of the vinyl was gone. They were selling like hotcakes. Yeah. So that's a good sign.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And they were expensive too. They weren't cheap.
Well, good.
Yeah. Well, the documentary, Anatomy of a One-Hit Wonder. You guys did a good job on that documentary. I really enjoy that. That's really cool.
He's the man. He's the guy.
Yeah. Excellent job.
Thank you very much. It took 3 years to make that video.
Really? Wow.
Movie, because I kept running out of money, and like everything else, it's all about finding the cash to do it.
Yeah.
But we sat down with the guys and interviewed Max, the original drummer, and then Sonny and Dave and me, and we had this friend of mine do the interviews. It was great. And it's one of these things that's always funny to see is how people remember things so differently, and credited it to show that, because one person will say, you know, there's 5,000 people there, there's 10,000 people, there's 20,000, you know, whatever it might be. And we've all talked about this many times, is we all remember things differently. So we try to get a consensus of what we remember, and then we try to distill that down to what might have actually happened. You know?
My specialty is completely not remembering anything.
It happens a lot, doesn't it?
Yeah.
We pull into the parking lot, and the other guys are going, "Oh yeah, you remember when? You remember that girl you met?" And I'm going, "We played here."
Yeah.
Well, I ain't been there.
It was a while ago now, for sure.
Yeah, that's funny. I like when there is no Judy or Trudy.
Well, there wasn't. I mean, so many people have claimed credit for that they're the girl in the song, and it wasn't
Right.
that. It was just songwriting to try to come up with an idea.
Yeah.
And wasn't there an Anna? There was a girl called Anna that thought she was in the song too. It was Anna, Anna, Anna.
Yeah,
It was on and on and on.
I got a comment about that just a couple weeks ago.
Really?
Anna, 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 and on at the end of the song is what Dave is saying, but people interpret it as Anna, Anna, Anna.
I guess because the other names, I guess, right?
Yeah.
But we've met people, Judy's and Trudy said, "Oh, that's been my song all my life, ever since I was a teenager." And that's me. And then they'd say, "That's me they're writing about." Oh, yeah. No, it isn't.
It's not.
if they're buying your music, just say,
sure.
we went that backstage, we went out for coffee afterwards.
That's right.
But you remember?
Yeah.
Just go along with it.
That's what you're calling it.
Yeah, there you go. I like how you came up with the names because you were listening to Shirley Ellis, the name game, which was, growing up, I heard that song 1,000 times,
Well, every once in a while a name song comes along, like Mambo Number 5 or whatever.
Right.
Years later, a little bit of Judy in My Soul or whatever.
Jessica, yeah.
Dickie Betts with Jessica. That was such a great song.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dickie's from here in Sarasota.
Oh,
and
yeah.
he just passed away, of course.
Yeah.
I covered Dickie a bunch of times. He did a lot of benefits in this area. Yeah.
Well, he's a pretty iconic guitar player, and it's.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I saw his PBS special the other day with Greg Allman from 2015.
Yep.
And he had a guitar player with him. He didn't hold a candle to Dickie or Dwayne. I mean, the guy was like second rate.
Really?
And then I think Greg's son came out and played a couple licks, and he wasn't that good either. Just saying.
I tell you who's good is Dickie's son, Dwayne Betts. He's incredible.
He has a band with another Allman son, right?
Yep.
Because they're on the cover of Vintage Guitar Magazine that has an article about my Les Paul, because I have an old Les Paul, and there's an article about it in Vintage Guitar, and they're on the cover. I remember that.
What year's your Les Paul?
I got a 59.
Oh my gosh. That's when I was born, 59. Wow.
Yeah, me too.
That's got to be worth some money.
Yeah, it's been through the ringer, unfortunately. It was smashed by a psychotic roadie after a gig.
It was, really?
Because we fired him. And
oh, man.
Fired him during this. That's one thing you learn. Don't fire somebody during the show, like in the break, in between the sets.
Instead of punching me in the nose, he went outside and trashed my guitar.
God. That sucks.
Yeah, it was.
But it got put together again, and it's still alive and well.
Still playing. It's still
good.
World. Joe Bonamassa played it.
Oh, really? I had Joe on the show. Yeah.
He played it on stage, and he loved it. It was it's called Lester.
Yeah, Joe's a pretty nice guy, actually. We met him a few times.
Yep.
And, obviously an incredible guitarist with an incredible career.
How many guys do you know from Canada? I mean, Randy Bachman, Burton Cummings, of course. I had both of them on the show. April Wine.
We've played with most of them. I met Randy once.
Mm-hmm.
a disagreeable kind of guy. But,
Randy and Zero together. I can't see that.
Really?
No, he was. I went to get his autograph, and because I think he's great. His radio show is great. He's a great songwriter, great guitar player. Except, you know, he was on the Gibson bus, and I wanted to get I have a guitar that's got lots of autographs on it.
Right.
Like a lot of heavyweights, and I thought I'd get his signature. Except the lineup in front of me to get on the bus, there was like some drunks in front of me and a little drunk midget guy. And
can you say that?
You can't say that. A small
Who
person,
cares?
an inebriated small person.
Yeah, there you go.
And you know, one guy had a pair of drumsticks he wanted to get autographed. And it was like, it didn't put Randy in too good a mood.
No, don't you hate people like that?
Well,
they make it bad for everybody, you know.
Anyway, so I got this. He had an 8x10. He signed that, and then I said, "Could you mind signing my guitar?" And he says, "Well, who else you got here?" And I said, "Well, Oscar Peterson, who is obviously a legendary Canadian, you know, piano player, genius musician." And Randy said, "Oh yeah, Oscar Peterson, one of my favorite guitarists." I'm going, "Oh, you're not in a very good mood."
Yeah.
Another chapter in the longest story ever told.
There you go. There you go. I know Frank Marino from Mahogany Rush. He's a
no, we haven't played with them either. We played with April Wine. We played with Lemon Boy. We played with Teenage Head, of course, and Trooper and Harlequin and Jeff Healy. We played with
Jeff Healy. Wow,
lots of people over the years. Yeah. David Wilcox, Kim Mitchell. We played with all those bands. You know.
Wow.
And they're all great. Yep. You know, there's a lot of great talent in Canada.
Great talent, yeah, and comedy also. I mean, Second City TV and a lot of great comedians came out of Canada.
Well, we have to have fun up here. That's all we got.
Yeah, that's all you got. John Candy, my hero.
John Candy.
He was awesome.
John Candy is good. We met him. We met him a couple of times, but he was a great, really nice fella. And Martin Short too. Nice fellas, you know, really good folks.
Good guys, really good guys. Some of the things on that documentary, I like the Lunatics Anonymous, your code word for LA. And then later on, you said LA wasn't really good to you guys. What happened in LA?
Oh, we were down there living in Laurel Canyon, trying to work on an album, but the political structure at the record company was falling apart at that time, as far as we were concerned. So it wasn't a very good. You know, it didn't work out that well. But we had some experiences down there. We were recording at Monkey's studio or something. It was Mike
Nesmith's house. That was where the Monkees rehearsed and did some recording. Elektra rented it for us. So it was still all furnished, but nobody lived there at that time. So we didn't really know what was going on. But we were there practicing our new songs, which never did get put onto an album at all.
I heard you guys rehearse a lot. Right.
We do every Sunday here at my house, and Sonny and we send we video it and send it to Sonny out in BC, and he practices at home there.
I put it up on the screen, and I got to practice all of the moves too, right? You know,
he still jumps around.
I got to do my kicks.
The kicks. Yeah, you're known for that.
He's the only one that can do it now.
At my age, I got to practice.
Yeah, man.
That's
the biggie, of course, is This Beat Goes On, Switchin To Glide, which reminds me a lot of 98 Tears by Question Mark and the Mysterians, doesn't it? It's got that organ sound to it.
I wonder who stole that from there.
Funniest thing is that everybody kept telling me, okay, you copied that from 96 Tears, didn't you?
Right.
And I'm going, I'm sorry, I haven't heard that song. Finally, one of the record company people played it for me. I'm going, yeah, you know what? It does kind of sound like that, but I'd never heard it.
Oh, you never heard it?
It
Never heard
happens.
The thing is sort of like that, like Runaway, Del Shannon's Runaway too.
Yeah.
Right. Like that. But it's neither of those. It's different.
No, it is different.
And
you came up with a riff like really quick, right? What I understand. The guitar riff.
Yeah. Well, we were playing in a strip joint.
Yeah. That, you know that.
Were you really?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We played a couple. One or two, I think we played it.
Strippers during the day and music at night.
Yeah.
Live band at a stripper joint, huh? I've never seen that before.
Yeah. Well, that was tuning up the guitar, and I think Sonny didn't you say what is that or something?
You were fooling around on the guitar. I think I was putting up lights or something like that. And because you know we were just a band. We had to do all the stuff ourselves. And so I was putting up the lights, and Dave's on stage tuning up a guitar, and he goes da 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 da. And I went, what's that?
And I said, I don't know what it is. What is it? But I remembered it. I went home and I still had it. I mean, it's so dumb and stupid. It's so great, you know.
Right.
And it was stuck in my mind, and then it just built from there. So
it's a good thing you remembered it. Sometimes
it was a gift. Yeah, it was a gift, actually. It's just a gift from God.
And we played a few strip joints where they had strippers during the day and music at night. And we did one gig where it was male strippers and the 500 females in the audience watching the male strippers. And that was kind of a very strange experience.
You guys all scored that night, right?
Well, we got out of there as quick as we could.
Really?
They'd have a dancer or two come up, and then we would do, 15, 20 minutes in between while the guys got fluffed up a little more in the back or whatever they were doing.
Well, see, the girls are all revved up from the guys, so it should have been an easy evening for you guys.
They were less interested in the rock and roll band than
jeez.
I don't think we could measure up, if you know what I mean.
That's funny.
Yeah, they have artificial something or
did they?
They tie things to keep it up.
Yeah, is that what they do?
We learned a few things. We shared the dressing room. There was only one dressing room.
You shared the dressing room with those guys?
It was It was a big dressing room. Thank God, nobody had to bend over and pick up soap or anything. But
one guy came out and was doing handstands, and so his junk was flopping all over his stomach.
And these weren't all beautiful women in the audience either. There was a lot of moves going on.
Oh, they're all beautiful people.
Oh, they're beautiful.
I said when my wife turned 40, I got a limo for her and sent her to a male club, male stripping club with a bunch of her friends. And there were some guys there that were there for like 20 years, and they were already old and used up, Oh, geez.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's another topic here, I think.
Yeah, exactly. Let's change subjects here. You guys toured with a lot of big bands, man. Bob Seger, Jeff Beck, of course, the Beach Boys, Clapton. What was that like? I mean, did you guys hang out with any of the bands? Or
a lot of those were one-offs, but
really?
Yeah. But he had a good experience with Eric Clapton.
Yeah.
Really?
He before like a lot of the big bands, it's okay to have people backstage after we played and stuff. But I remember they cleared everybody away for Eric after we finished playing, and I was standing, and I don't remember exactly who was with me, but I don't know if Sonny was there too or not. But we're talking like this. I had a towel on after a show, dry, sweaty and stuff. And I got a tap on my shoulder. And I turn around, and it's Eric standing there. He says, "You're a good singer," and then he walked away. It was like, did that really happen? Did that just happen? And it really did happen.
And he said nothing about my guitar playing.
No, that's the only thing he said.
Strangely enough.
But it was quite it's like one of those whoa type of things.
Yeah.
But we opened for the Beach Boys, and they had us. We had a video camera, and we were on the side of the stage, and Carl took the video camera from us and was on stage with the video camera.
Oh, cool.
And we were all up there, having a party with it. And our drummer at the time got up, because they had two drummers, I think Rick Stamos and
John Stamos.
Or John
Stamos, yeah.
Anyway, so our drummer got up and was playing with the Beach Boys, and it was unbelievable. The nicest guys you ever, as compared to Clapton, made sure there was nobody around at that. It was amazing.
I had Mike Love on the show. He was very nice guy.
That's great, yeah. But we never did meet Bob Seger. We met a bunch of his band folks and
backup singers.
Yeah, backup singers.
We played with Ted Nugent. We never met him either.
Never met him either, huh? That's weird. Very strange when that happens,
Yeah, you meet everybody else pretty much.
The Heatwave Fest. That's kind of as a matter of fact, that's on YouTube. They got all the acts there. You can see the show on YouTube. I was watching it the other night. The Clash didn't show up. That was a big blow, right?
Not that big a blow. There's so many great acts on the bill. I remember just spending the whole day standing out there watching. Like there's the B-52s, the Pretenders, the Talking Heads, Nick Lowe and Rockpile. I mean, the lineup was incredible.
Yeah, it was quite a thing. There was like 55,000 people. It was at a big racetrack just north of Toronto.
Right.
And but Elvis Costello too. He went long, so because we closed the show up, but he went extra long, so it got very late, and it was very late. A lot of people had been there all day, sitting out in the hot sun. It was, but we had a great time.
Yeah.
I was listening to, let's see, who was I listening? Oh, Nick Lowe. He said he got paid really well for that gig. What about you guys?
We got more than we usually got, but I doubt if it was as much as them.
Yeah.
But we were happy just to be on we're on the poster, which is great.
Right.
So it's a nice looking poster, and we're on it. And it was a really amazing day for us. They asked us when we wanted to be on it. We wanted to be on at night because the lights were on, the stage lights. And that's what we wanted to show. And they came to all the bands before the gig and said, we've got a film crew here in a remote mobile studio to record it. Do you give permission to have it filmed and recorded? We said yes. And they said, well, we'll put it all in a vault. We'll figure out all the legal stuff later. And nobody else agreed to do it. Talking Heads didn't agree to do it. And it's funny because who knows why, but it could have been like a new wave or modern Woodstock kind of thing.
Exactly.
And I mean, the Pretenders, they put on a great show, and that was the original band before they all started dying. The Talking Heads, that was their first time with the big band that they had, and the David Byrne has talked about that recently, actually, about playing at a gig in Canada, the first time with the big band, and that was the Heatwave show, and it was a great lineup, and it could have been a great movie. We were lucky enough to find the footage and the sound for it later, and made it into our video movie live at Heatwave. And while they didn't get the whole show, they got a lot of the highlights, and it's about a half hour or something that we spent a lot of time editing and cleaning up the film. And I had it transferred years ago, back when the primitive transfers nowadays they do. We had it done frame by frame restoration, and that's why it looks so good now. And it had the sound remixed and everything. But it was a great day for us. And if you wanted to see what we were like just before we started going to Denver and places like that, we have the clothes, we have the outfits, and it's incredible rock and roll show that we were putting on back then.
Yeah.
That's what we say too. It's amazing how we could play and sing and do all that activity that it was unbelievable. Like Sonny's leaping and actually jumping right on top of his organ, playing at the same time.
Handstands.
Oh, unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Of
I
course, we
had
still do that all the time. We still do that all the time, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
There was
not
no
on
time to
stage.
critical assessment.
I had Dave Edmonds on the show, and I've had Graham Parker on the show. Graham Parker is such a nice guy. He's really cool. Yeah.
Well,
But
there's
you know, I think there was a rumor going around that the Ramones might have been on that show too. But
Or maybe to take place at the Clash or something, maybe at some point.
yeah,
They
yeah.
were
Ramones are
invited.
great. Teenage Head did it. They're like the Canadian Ramones, and
Yeah.
they're friends of ours and played with them numerous times. And
Hmm.
tragically, their singer passed, and then their guitarist passed a couple of years ago, which is a terrible thing.
Yep. Anyway,
But another great Canadian band, though.
Yeah, exactly. That was a good concert though. Like you said, it's such a shame they all didn't agree.
yeah.
Because that would have been a great movie, you know?
Incredible. It
Incredible.
helped us out too, because to be part of something like that.
Yeah. Hmm. New Wave was big. I mean, New Wave came out, punk came out about the same time. Um, I was at broadcasting school in Fort Lauderdale back in like 78, 79. We even started a band called The Drugs. It was kind of a punk band.
Good name.
But it was a fun time. New Wave was a fun time, It really
Well, we had
was.
some good fun, I'll tell you. We had some fun for a few years there, that's for sure.
Yeah. Are you guys going to work on you have more material for another album coming out, or what's your plans?
We're still trying to. It took so much to get this one together. We're not thinking
Right.
about that at this particular time.
Got a few ideas,
Mm-hmm.
happening. Sonny's working on his own big project at this point too, so that's good.
Yeah.
Really?
Sonny's
wrote a
written a musical.
Yeah. Tell us the story.
You wrote a musical? Is that what he said?
Yeah.
What kind of musical?
Country musical.
Oh, okay. So you are serious. You are a big country fan, huh?
Yeah. Yep.
You should be living in Nashville.
I should be, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's a slog writing a musical, man. That was like 3 years, and I don't know if I'm done yet.
What is it about? Can we?
It's called Insurrection the Musical, and it's about the January 6th thing. But it's not actually about that. It's just a love story with that in the background.
Oh, okay.
But,
what are your plans for that? Are you gonna who's gonna do it?
I'm doing a table read this next week.
Really? Nice.
Find out how it sounds out loud.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Lots of great music in it. A lot of great songs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Awesome.
So
You guys are very, very talented, man. I really mean that.
Well, thank you so much.
Here's a question for all three of you that I ask everybody this question. I get some really interesting answers. If you had a Field of Dreams wish, like the movie, that's one of my favorite movies, to perform with, collaborate with anyone from the past or present, who would that be?
Paul McCartney.
That's the number one answer, actually.
Yeah,
Sure it is. Sure it is.
Never met a Beatle. Never met a Beatle. So he's
Never
wearing
met a Beatle.
T-shirt. So
We never met a Beatle.
we went to see Ringo last year,
Mhm.
and I mean he's phenomenal. It's fantastic.
He keeps in great shape.
He's
He
incredible.
really does.
And what a great fun show he puts on. With
Mhm.
this
Always fun.
incredible band with Steve Lukather and all these guys. And
Yeah.
but it'd have to be a Beatle if you wanted to go down that right. I mean, like I'm sure you say, most of your answers come to Paul McCartney.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's such a force of nature, and that Let It Be movie was a revelation to talent. And you can tell he's driving the boat,
Mhm.
he's just driven. And none of them are even 30 in that movie. They're just before their 30th birthdays. And it's like
You gotta include the whole Peter Jackson recut thing as well as Let It Be, the movie, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, the Beatles. Yeah.
well, that's the one I meant.
Yeah.
Isn't it called Let It Be? Like the Peter Jackson one?
Is it also called Let It Be?
I think so. I think it is Let It Be. Yeah.
Or is it Get Back?
Well, Get Back. I think it's Get Back.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
I meant that.
Close enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one Peter Jackson's just interviewing Paul, right? That's just with Paul when they're in the studio going to looking at
the 8 or 9 hour long one that they recut with Peter Jackson.
Right.
It's the thing. I took my time watching that. It was just
something else.
Another great songwriter. I thought Gordon Lightfoot.
Mm.
I love some of the chord progression, just the way he would have been neat to work with. I know it's we've seen him a few different times. I mean, we met him here and there. And I would have thought that he'd be a neat guy to work with. I think.
What a great singer too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And he liked Switchin To Glide. We played a show with him and Ronnie Hawkins.
Ronnie Hawkins.
I went into each of their dressing rooms with a poster, and I said who I introduced who I was, and they both knew the song. You know, I think they were in 2 different rooms. Actually, Gordon Lightfoot was changing his own guitar strings. He was in there. He had his guitar on the table. He was working on it. And I said who I was, and then he said, well, "That's a good song." I'm like, "This is the guy after writing some of the fabulous music he's done."
Yeah.
Ronnie Hawkins said, "I know that song. I like that song. That's very good." So that was kind of neat. But I don't know who else. We like working with our own. We work on our own. We bounce off each other. We're not that prolific though. We don't. We like writing good songs. Every song's got to be a good song, or it ain't worth writing.
Yep. And they're fun. They're fun tunes. You know, fun tracks. But I really like that Western song. That took me for a loop when I heard
That's
that.
definitely a COVID song. That came during right at the height, all through the COVID time. That song.
Yeah. That was
have to show you the lyric sheet.
a real turned into something too huge. It was he's gonna go get the worksheets here.
It was too big to write.
Oh, look at that. Jeez.
So we had Bristol.
Wow.
It's and then rewrites. We had rewrites. I guess it's fallen off. We had one stuck on top of other like extra pieces of paper stuck on top, changing lines and stuff.
Look like cue cards.
Like cue cards. Only the song was getting so long, we got, oh God, you got to run out of paper here.
Man, oh man.
We're pretty analog over here.
Yeah, why not?
My house is full of all kinds of junk like this in here.
Hey, man. That's
the King's Museum.
That's right.
Yeah, have you ever seen Bonamassa's little museum that he's got with all his amplifiers and guitars?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
2 or 3 houses full of gear, I think.
It's incredible.
Well, he's done it. Him and his manager, we use agents. They book all the halls themselves, and they make all the money. So he's a smart guy.
You guys have a manager?
We do now. Our old manager Joe came back on board last year sometime.
Mm-hmm.
And Joe Bamford, who's a great guy, and he's honest.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's unusual.
Well, that's the thing. He's smart, honest, and he's always believed in what we were doing. And so we're happy to have him because, talking to people in the business, agents, and, these kind of record company people, it takes a real skill set that we don't have. So
and that's part of what happened in California. We're asking, at one point, we had a manager guy, I mean, not Randy, but another fellow that we had to, get out of here type of thing.
Right.
And that was just part of that going on. But yeah, no, Joe was great. Get off the bus, concerts.com, I think is this thing.
Yeah.
That's his. He had tour buses for years. He ran a bunch of the big, huge rigs. Right. I mean, he didn't drive them, but he operated the business.
He drove them too, I think.
But that's good business.
Yeah, we love Joe. We're happy to have him.
Yeah.
So what's next for the Kings going forward here?
Well, Sonny's flying in on Thursday.
Tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow. Yeah. He's coming to Ontario.
Okay. And then
we're going to rehearse on Friday and play on Saturday. And then Sonny's doing his table read on Sunday.
And then after that, we don't know. Maybe we'll come and visit you in Florida.
Yeah, come to Florida, man.
We'd love to.
Why not?
I mean, and see our friends that are running around in bikinis on the.
There you go. All your buddies from that video.
That's right. No, we're trying. We have a few other shows that we're working on, and through the summertime, big outdoor concert festivals. We're a great festival band, as we.
Yep. Oh, definitely. And,
we play multiple multiple weekend bands, like many bands over 3 days type of things. You know,
it's been fun.
And like you say, we played with a lot of the Canadian acts, the Stampeders, Chilliwack. I don't know, Dave. It goes on and on.
Yeah. Forgot about those ones,
yeah.
So,
well, Cummings and Bachman, they're kind of getting together again. Maybe you can open up for them. That'd be kind of cool.
That would be
cool. I think they're kind of suing for the Guess Who name right now. I think they're in
there,
and they should. It's ridiculous.
Well, there's nobody from the original band. I don't think it
just the drummer. The drummer's the only one left.
He's not at all the gigs though, and they play Burton's. They play Burton's singing on the ads.
Right?
Isn't that ridiculous? I hate that.
Yeah, well, but Burton's. It's funny because on his Facebook stuff, he endorses bands playing their music. Like he'll say, you should go see this band. They're playing a Guess Who tribute this weekend.
Yeah.
But call it the Guess Who. They'll call it a tribute to the Guess Who.
Right. That's different.
Which is smart to keep the music alive.
Right.
Yeah.
But there's this band that call themselves the Guess Who. They put up posters with Burton's likeness on it, and in the ads they have Burton singing the songs, which is
ridiculous.
That's not fair.
No. A lot of bands like that. The Little River Band has no original guys in that band.
Yeah. That's one thing that we have here is that we have 3 out of the 4 original guys, and our drummer's been with us since 2007.
You guys are 100% legit.
Yeah, and and there's other bands. April Wine, Miles just passed.
I know. I had Miles on the show. He was a good, really nice guy.
And but he endorsed that. He picked the new members of the band.
Right.
And I'm sure that his estate or whatever now gets a cut out of what they're doing. The same with Trooper, Ray and Brian, I think, they left the band, but they have a sanctioned singer and guitar player that they agree to hire, and so they're good with it, Yeah. And so that's okay too, I guess, to keep the music alive.
True.
Yeah. Teenage Head, they only have their bass player remaining in their band, but they're doing shows and good for them.
I can't see how that would ever happen with the Kings though, because nobody sounds like Dave.
Well, no, I mean,
thanks, Sonny.
You and I can go, Sonny, but as long as he's there, they can hire a better guitar player.
Oh, God.
You guys better keep looking after me here.
Yeah, but nobody's going to be able to do those, acrobats on the piano or the organ.
My skill set.
The guy from Kansas that did that also.
Oh yeah.
On keyboards. He used to do handstands, the original singer from Kansas.
Oh, there you go.
What's funny? One time I was watching YouTube and it was Paul Revere and the Raiders. They did all those jumps, or they'd split stuff.
Back in the day.
I forgot that they had done that. And I was watching and I go, wow, that was from back in the early 60s or mid 60s when there was Paul Revere and the Raiders. And they're doing some of the stuff that we did, I thought it was great. And they have all their military, the
Revolutionary
the Raider stuff. Yeah.
I thought, wow, that's pretty cool.
They're one of the most underrated bands ever. They were great. They have great singles, and pretty hard rock type stuff too. They were not a lightweight band. They were great. And actually the singer, Mark, is it?
Mark Lindsay.
Yeah. He just put up a post siding with Burton Cummings.
Oh, it did? Yeah.
Yeah. He said, and it was a long piece that he wrote about it, that this is not fair. And he supports what Burton is doing 100%. So I thought that was interesting to see.
I talked to Mark Lindsay backstage. My sister-in-law had a bunch of original Paul Revere and the Raider albums, and he wanted me to give them to Mark. I was covering the show. I gave them to Mark. He was so thankful. And then I called up my sister-in-law and they talked on the phone together.
Oh, what a
Great.
Which was very, very cool. And then unfortunately my sister-in-law passed away from cancer after that. So it was very touching. You're such a nice guy, you know.
That's great to hear that.
Like yeah. Great guy.
He'd been there. He did that.
Yeah.
Kicks keep getting harder.
Yeah. That's a good song, isn't it?
It's a great song.
Yeah. Those are the days, man.
The good old days.
Yeah. Guys, thank you, man, for being on the show today. I really appreciate it.
Thanks,
you guys
Ray.
are such a wonderful band. Very talented. I really hope you guys do some more touring because I'd love to see you here in Florida.
Oh, we'd like to come down, yeah. Well, we will see what happens. We hope we get some good airplay with this the Nowhere to Go But Gone song.
Yeah.
And we're really happy with the videos too that we put out for it. So
great album.
Thanks.
Yeah. I'm sure everybody loves the girls. You got a good following too, by the way. You got you got your fans, your loyal fans. You go on YouTube and you see a lot of great feedback, on the new stuff from the new stuff.
It's been very good. We try to answer all the comments every day to get up and do it, to keep interactive with our fans, and they say the most incredible things. I mean, it's just how much they love us, and it's very humbling, and it's a wonderful thing.
Some of the people, it's just meant so much. It's meant so much of them. We've had people say that they've had our song played at their I'm sorry, but at their funeral or whatever, and
weddings, funerals,
people that have epilepsy or something, they can play the song and the kids calm down or whatever. You know what I mean? And it's and that really, it's amazing that music can do that. It's the power of it. And thank God for This Beat Goes On, Switchin To Glide. We say it all the time how great it is.
Well, your fans are also very educated too. I was reading, like you said, I was reading some of the comments, and they know you guys. They know your music inside and out.
Better than we know ourselves.
Yeah.
Oh, cool, man.
Awesome. I want to say real quick, very special thanks to Ann Layton. Ann Layton Media, Music and Services, Motivation. Ann's great. I've known Ann now for about 12 years.
Oh, yeah.
She's awesome. You can purchase the Kings' latest album, The Longest Story Ever Told. It's out there on Amazon.com, or I guess they can go to your website.
Yeah.
thekingsarehere.com, right?
Yeah.
You guys are on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok.
Yeah.
And I also posted all your discography.
Discography. Yeah.
If you go to Spotify or Apple Music, there's from around 80 songs there.
I saw Spotify. You got a great site on Spotify there. Yeah.
Over 4 hours of original music.
Fantastic.
So very proud of that.
Yeah. Plus you got the anthology out there. I mean,
and we got a couple of old CDs from the old days of the one hit, or the 70s rock band.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was the lost tapes of a 70s bar band.
That's right. I was going to mention that. I saw that.
Which is it's Squeeze Box. Can you believe that? And Sonny singing Supertramp.
Supertramp songs.
I got to listen to that. I got to check that out.
No, you don't have to.
A moment in time.
Or a Rainbow song. There's a
Rainbow song.
Oh, that's right too. Yeah.
Paint me a thing. Yeah, that one.
Brother.
Awesome.
Cool stuff.
Or just Google Switchin. If you just go Switchin, or Switchin To Glide, you'll get right to any of the Kings. So there's only one Switchin To Glide in the world.
That's right. That's right. That song's gonna go on forever.
That's it.
Yeah.
Thanks
guys. I appreciate it,
Ray.
Man. Thank you.
All my best to you and the family and everybody, and good luck on that show. Have fun at the show, and
we will, and we'll be in touch at some point, I'm sure.
Definitely, for sure. All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye.
Thanks.